Manchester City were able to tie against Real Madrid 3-3. And here is going to be the first thing that I do want to say. The fact that Real Madrid have been able to score 2 goals within a span of 5 minutes has been a very constant thing under this Real Madrid side. If you fail to overcome Real Madrid outside of those goals that they score on you, you're most likely going to lose. For example, going back to that Super Cup final between Barcelona and Real Madrid scored 2 goals in 5 minutes on the 7th minute and on the 10th minute. In this match between Madrid and City, Real Madrid have yet again scored twice on the 12th minute and on the 14th minute. Is the exact same story. I would call this the Real Madrid shock factor, where you score the first goal, you have the opponent in shock, you're like, oh my god, what just happened? Did I make a mistake? What's going on? Right? The adrenaline goes up high, and then Real Madrid capitalize off of you again by scoring a second goal. Madrid have been able to use this successfully against Barcelona, and now they have done it against City. Until this day, Guardiola, the best coach in the world, still has not found an answer to this problem. I'm pretty sure that Real Madrid are going to want to repeat the exact same thing at Man City Stadium by finding a weak moment through the game and scoring as many goals as possible. I'm going to give some credit to Ancelotti because he really does know how to place Rodrigo and Vinicius in the most perfect positions. Like for example, he uses Vinicius to go inside, Rodrigo to be like the second striker behind Vinicius to accompany him, or sometimes we see Rodrigo as the highest player with Vinicius cutting inside or out wide and finding Rodrigo with a through pass. Ancelotti always puts those two players in the correct positions all the time, and that is how Real Madrid were able to score one of their goals. So in the end, Man City achieved a very decent result, I would say. They leveled 3-3, and most importantly, City were able to level Real Madrid 3-3 at Madrid's stadium. Now the next game is going to be at City, and I'm pretty sure that City are going to be playing at a much higher level once they do go into the second leg. Now, Real Madrid came out this game with an expected goal rate of 0.70. Man City came out with a 0.88 goal rate. Keep in mind, this was a game where it did end with 6 goals. 6. And both of these teams had an expected goal rate of less than 1 goal. The best way I could explain on how this even happened was because if you look at the type of goals these two teams have scored, they were all amazing, unexpected, which is why their expected goal rate was so much lower than what actually happened on the pitch. We had an own goal, 4 bangers, and then another deflected goal from Rodrigo. To be honest, this was probably one of the best games that we have seen in a very long time. And that is what the Champions League is all about, is to see games like this, to see golazo on top of another golazo. You don't even know which team is going to win. You see these teams frustrated all the time, eager to win, trying to score goals. It was very exciting. This is what the Champions League, again, should be about. I do think that in time, as City and Real Madrid continue to play against one another, they're going to end up cementing themselves as a classic match within the Champions League that the Champions League must have. So let's talk about the goals, right? And I want to talk about the first one all the way into the last one. In the first goal, we saw Bernardo Silva score a free kick. He put it into the bottom left corner. Thierry Henry said something very interesting that I do agree with. He did say that the fact that Real Madrid only put Vinicius as a solo man within that wall to block Bernardo Silva's free kick, it was unacceptable. You never just use one man on a wall. You should be using 2 men at the very least, and that is why he believed that Bernardo Silva was able to score the goals. It is because Real Madrid left the goal wide open, and that is how Silva was able to score very early in the game on the 3rd minute. And so we move on to the second goal, and it was a deflection. Camavinga tries to shoot a shot from outside the box. Ruben Diaz touches it, and it ends up being an own goal instead of a Camavinga goal. So by that time, Real Madrid were tied 1-1. We move on to the 3rd goal, and this is where all the chaos comes in, because a few minutes later, we saw Vinicius make a pass to Rodrigo down the left side. He saw Rodrigo make a run going past Akanji, and Akanji just loses his marker, which was Rodrigo. Because of a bad stance, Rodrigo ends up receiving the through pass from Vinicius, and he puts the ball between the legs of the player. I think it was Akanji, and then it got passed through the goalkeeper, and the ball went inside. And at that point, it was 2-1. Just like that, Real Madrid were able to come back within a span of 5 to 6 minutes. We went on to the second half. Real Madrid were winning against City 2-1. Man City had to respond. On the 65th minute, Phil Foden leveled the game for City 2-2 with a amazing left-footed shot into the top left corner, and it was a golazo. It was amazing. It was so world class. We're like, there's no way Phil Foden just pulled that off. It was a huge moment for Phil Foden, because not only has Foden showed up against Real Madrid on this game, but Foden has been a key player for Man City overall through this whole season, and he continues to improve it by showing up against Real Madrid. He was named the man of the match tonight, and I do think that it is safe to say that Phil Foden is one of the best players in the world right now. He officially does have 22 goals and 10 assists in all competitions. Pep Guardiola a few weeks ago did say that Phil Foden was going to be a strong contender for the PL Player of the season. And we can see here that Foden is on fire, scoring that goal in front of hundreds and thousands of Real Madrid fans. The fan base of Real Madrid were so quiet because Man City did not give up, and Phil Foden was at the heart of it. And so yes, I get that many are excited that players like Erling Haaland, Kylian Mbappe, Lamine Yamal, Bellingham are the ones to watch in the Champions League because of what they have been doing for their own clubs. But Foden is going to be as one of the players that we're all going to be talking about in this tournament. I would even argue that Foden is probably going to make a huge statement in the Euros for the English national team. I do think that he can carry this momentum with England. So we fast forward to the 70th minute, and Guardiola was able to make it 3-2, scoring into the top right corner and making a 3-2 comeback after going down 2-1 and scoring the first goal for this game. And I did say something on Twitter that does align with the future of Barcelona and its next center back that could come up in a few months, and that is Mikayil Faye, because I did say that the goal Guardiola scored is what I hope Mikayil Faye could become in 3 to 4 years for FC Barcelona. And I say that because Mikayil Faye is the exact same profile of Guardiola. They can both play on the left back position and as a left center back. If you have to have a back three, Mikayil Faye and Guardiola can play on the left center back position and play as one of the center backs. They're also great in ball distribution, extremely strong, and they both know especially how to score from outside the box. We have seen the amount of goals Faye has scored from outside the box. Did that not remind you of what Guardiola did recently against Real Madrid? They're center backs who can score from outside the box, and that's very important. And I hope that Mikayil Faye can become, if not better, than Guardiola. But it is going to be taking great protection, great nurturing for Faye to really make an impact at Barcelona. Moving on to the last goal on the 79th minute. 9 minutes later, Valverde shoots a ball with his right foot, with the ball being mid-air to the bottom left corner, leveling the game 3-3, as it should be, because I think that both teams showcased why they didn't deserve to lose on this night. And at that point, when everybody saw Real Madrid and Man City level 3-3, we're like, okay, you know what? This is going to be the game of the season. Just let it play out like this. Let it end 3-3, and let's carry this result into the second leg. And we'll see what happens here, because everybody was happy. Everybody was satisfied. We saw a good game. We were entertained, and we believe that it was a fair result. I want to also quickly talk about Erling Haaland, because a lot of people have been talking about why Haaland was not able to really showcase his talents against Real Madrid, because at the end of the day, he is Erling Haaland. At one point, many were saying that he was the best player in the world, and he did not do anything against Real Madrid. In this game, he had a 67% pass accurate rate. He lost possession 7 times. Only 1 shot was on target. 0 out of 1 dribbles were completed. 0 assists and 0 goals. I'm not going to lie to you. I would agree with everybody here. Erling Haaland ghosted. He ghosted. He didn't do anything. Man City did not even need him. And to be honest, I don't even think that City want to have Erling Haaland involved in anything, because if you really analyze Haaland and where he positions himself, he barely drops deep to receive the ball. And that is because Man City don't really need him, and they know that if Erling Haaland drops and he tries to build up play with the other players, they know that Erling Haaland is not that technical, and he might lose the ball. What they mainly use Erling Haaland for is a long ball to Erling Haaland, and then for him to receive the ball and hold the play, and that's it. To shield the ball and wait for either Phil Foden or Grealish or whoever, right? Julian Alvarez to make those runs behind Erling Haaland. That is what he is used for, and that's basically it. And I think that Guardiola, the way that he has been using him has been 100% correct, because he has also been using Haaland as like a decoy, because he knows that Real Madrid were probably going to be sending 2 defenders on top of Erling Haaland, because it was just too clogged there. So he's like, you know what? Haaland, don't even drop. Just accept the fact that you're going to be there and marked by 2 or 3 players. That's fine, because we want to be more effective on the wings. And that's basically all he does. Sometimes Haaland likes to run into certain areas to like open space for other players. And I mean, like, what else are you going to be asking for a striker that does not have a lot of technical ability? He's useful, but not in the way that many City fans do want to see him be used. And let me tell you, seeing how Erling Haaland has been so disassociated with the game, it does align with the type of goals Man City scored. Really think about that, right? Because the goals that we saw from City were exceptional. Most of the shots, if not probably, I think all of them, all of the shots were from outside the box. It had nothing to do with the striker being involved. I believe that Pep Guardiola probably told the players at halftime that they should find their luck outside the box. Like, screw trying to build up with the striker, just pass the ball to the wingers or whoever's out wide, whether it's Foden, Grealish, or Bernardo Silva, and then cut back with a pass to one of the players from outside the box of the opponent, and then shoot from outside. That is basically what Pep Guardiola said, and that is how Man City were able to score the goals with Guardiola and Phil Foden. If we even look at the stats here, in the first half, City had 1 shot from outside the box, and in the second half, once Guardiola made that speech, which I'm assuming that he did, Man City ended up with 6 shots outside the box. 6. And in the first half, they only had 1, because they probably knew that it was just too congested in the middle. They were not going to be able to do anything going down the middle or make like a cross into the box for Erling Haaland to find. That was not going to happen. What they found was that the solution to this was to make long shots. shots from outside the box and score the goals. And that is how City were able to tie against Real Madrid 3-3. And so that is it. That is going to be my match review for the match between City and Real Madrid. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one.